Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
This evening we're going to read and discuss from the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad-gītā as it is, the last verse, text number 24. This chapter is entitled The Divine and the Demoniac Natures. So the Sanskrit verse sounds like this. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vivashtita yatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum ihardasi. Please repeat. Tasmat, therefore, shastram, the scriptures, pramanam, evidence, te, your, karya, duty, akarya, and forbidden activities, yadashtitao, in determining, gyatva, knowing, shastra, of scripture, vidhana, the regulations, uktam, as declared, karma, work, kartum, do, iha, in this world, arhasi, you should. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Report. As stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad-gītā and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people to simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Krishna consciousness or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. One should act accordingly without argument. That is called following the principles of Shastra or scripture. Shastra is without the four principal defects that are visible in the conditioned soul. Imperfect senses, the propensity for cheating, certainty of committing mistakes, and certainty of being illusioned. These four principal defects in conditioned life disqualify one from putting forth rules and regulations. Therefore, the rules and regulations as described in the Shastra, being above these defects, are accepted without alteration by all the great saints, acharyas, and great souls. In India there are many parties of spiritual understanding, generally classified as two: the impersonalist and the personalist. Both of them, however, lead their lives according to the principles of the Vedas. Without following the principles of the scriptures, one cannot elevate himself to the perfectional stage. One who actually therefore understands the purport of the Shastras is considered fortunate. In human society, aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all fall-downs. That is the greatest offense of human life. Therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always giving us trouble in the shape of the threefold miseries. This material energy is constituted of the three modes of material nature. One has to raise himself at least to the mode of goodness before the path to understanding the Supreme Lord can be opened. without raising oneself to the standard of the mode of goodness, one remains in ignorance and passion, which are the cause of demoniac life. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance deride the scriptures, deride the holy man, and deride the proper understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They disobey the injunctions of the spiritual master, and they do not care for the regulations of the scriptures. In spite of hearing the glories of devotional service, they are not attracted. Thus they manufacture their own way of elevation. These are some of the defects of human society which lead to the demoniac status of life. If, however, one is able to be guided by a proper and bona fide spiritual master who can lead one to the path of elevation to the higher stage, then one's life becomes successful. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad-gītā in the matter of the divine and demoniac natures. Again, the verse reads, Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavashtita gyatva shastra vidhanokta karma kartumi harasi. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. In knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may be gradually elevated. So first of all, Tasmat Shastram, Pramanam te. The word Praman means evidence. The proper evidence by which we are to decide karya, akarya, vyavashtita. Vyavashtita means to determine. Karya means what is to be done. Akarya, what is not to be done. Actually, just from this you can understand what is the function of the living entity, the Jiva Atma. He is called Tatashta. Tatashta in Sanskrit means on the borderline. That borderline is between truth and illusion. Or Maya and Krishna, right and wrong. So at every moment in this human form of life we are faced with choice. At every moment our senses, our minds are demanding, now what? Now what? Now what? And we have to choose. And this is actually the symptom, this is how you can know that you're alive. This is how you can know you're not dead. You're not dead matter, not just a mechanism. Because there are some who think that what is life? Life is just matter in motion. Just somehow or other by combination of different dead material elements, there is some entity, some biological structure, and it is moving, and that is life. Well, the thing is clouds are also moving in the sky. But do clouds decide anything? They're moving, and you can see they go in this direction or that direction. But are they deciding anything? That is the real question. What does it mean for a cloud to move in the wrong direction? Does it have any meaning? There's some traffic policeman up there who stops a cloud. Gone the wrong way. You must pay a fine. No. Clouds are just, they're just conglomerations of nebulous water vapor, and they're just being blown along by the wind. For a cloud to be right and wrong. And then there are those who are, Prabhupada mentions, there are two classes of spiritualists, those who are personalists and those who are impersonalists. So the impersonalists, they believe in some kind of life energy, but that life energy is constitutionally neutral. Actually, in the Western philosophy, they have the same idea as the Mayavadis. The same philosophy, the same conception is there, but they give it a different name. The name is very interesting and very revealing. They call it neutral monism. So monism means that everything is one. And neutral means it has no no distinct characteristics at all. And neutral means there's no question of any choice. Some neutral, constitutionally neutral thing. There's no right or wrong for that. No positive, negative, no yes or no. It's neutral. So also if we were, actually we might admit that all right, we're not matter. There is some spiritual existence, but it is neutral monistic principle. Then again, what does it mean to be right or wrong if you're just a neutral monistic entity? What does it mean to make a choice in life? It doesn't have any meaning at all. Actually, when you think about it, then your mind, you see, if you think about it in this way, your mind can't grasp it. Your mind, then you realize how absurd these philosophies are. And what does it mean for a cloud to be right or wrong? Can't answer the question. What does it mean for a neutral monistic entity to be right or wrong? Can't figure that one out either. But what does it mean for a person to be right or wrong? Oh, that we know. That you know immediately. You don't have to speculate for 1 second. You know immediately what it means for a person to be right or wrong, to make a right or wrong choice. So this immediately distinguishes the philosophy of Bhagavad-gītā, Vaishnava philosophy from all these other concoctions. Alright, so it's established here. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya kyarya vyavashtita. That if we want to know, because our mind and senses are always demanding at every moment, what to do next, make a choice. So if you want to know the right choice, then you have to be guided at every moment by Shastra. Shastra, the revealed Vedic scripture, that is your praman, that is your evidence. And if we are acting blindly without, just like it is exactly like driving on a road, some strange road out in the country, without a road map. You see? So you just drive and speculate, well, maybe I'll go right here, maybe I'll go left here. Very quickly you're lost. So like that, if we conduct our affairs in this vast material world, this ocean of material energy, which is always overwhelming us, we're always bewildered, we're always confused, everybody knows that, isn't it? Right? Our minds, our senses are confusing us. Just our own mind and senses, what to speak of when we interact with others. Other people come in contact with us and bewilder us. That's our condition, we're always bewildered. And in that bewildered state we have to make choices. And if you make the wrong choice, just like on the road, if you go the wrong way, just like not far from here, not far from this country, Belgium, just across the English Channel, there's England. So you may go there on a ferry, driving aimlessly, and you come to a ferry. I guess I'll take the ferry to England, why not? And it takes you across, and then you get off. But you don't know anything about that country, so you're driving, and suddenly, there's all kinds of cars zipping out of your way, and people are shaking their fists at you, and you drive, what's wrong with these people? What a strange country. Why are they all on the wrong side of the road? And then you turn on the radio and you hear a police report. Beware, there's a madman on the road driving on the wrong side of the road. Not just one madman, there's so many madmen on the wrong side of the road. So what? Because you don't know. You don't know the law of that place. So therefore what happens? You're stopped by the police and you're in a lot of trouble. And you say, well, I didn't know. There's no excuse. No excuse. It's like, yes, in our own experience in the material nature, choosing between right and wrong. Even a little child, if a little child chooses wrongly, it's not that material nature says, oh, just a little child. You see? It's like the stove, here's the kitchen. So the stove is cooking away, and the little child doesn't know any better, so little, comes and sees the bright flame, ha ha ha, looks like fun, puts their fingers in the flame. So does Agni Dev say, oh, poor little child. Mama didn't teach the child yet about fire, so I won't burn the child today. I'll wait till the child learns what is fire, and then I'll burn. No. The child's fingers are burnt anyway. He cannot plead, I didn't know. So, This is how severe this law of karma is. Whether you know or not know, if you make a wrong choice, you're subject to punishment. So then, based on Shastra, we must make proper choices. But there's something deeper than this. The key word of this verse is gyatva. Gyatva means knowing. You see, in knowledge, there's different modes of knowledge. So there are persons who want to know, they want to answer the question, what? There's other persons who want to answer the question, how many? But actually to know, gyatva, to have real knowledge, we must know why. And there's a whole Upanishad dedicated to that, Kena Upanishad. The why Upanishad. Kena means why in Sanskrit. So Srila Prabhupada, he said, this is the actual question that one must answer in the human form of life. Why? If there are rules and regulations that we must follow in making choices in our life, it's not, yes, alright, it is good to know. We should know the what and the how many. But until we know why, we're actually not gyatva. We're actually not in knowledge. We're actually not in knowledge of the purpose of these rules and regulations. Just like you find in Bhagavad-gītā, where it is stated the qualifications of a Brahman. Now, Brahman is one who is supposed to be perfect in following the rules and regulations. And the first quality in the list, several verses in Gita give a list of Brahminical qualities. So the first one is always satyam, means truthful. Brahmana should be truthful. Always tell the truth. So this sounds very nice moral principle. But you know, there's a story from Vedic literature about a truthful sage. That was his principle. Always tell the truth. But he went to hell for telling the truth. How is that possible? So just listen. He was sitting in his kutir, his hut, and he was doing his all his Brahminical activities, meditation and so on, chanting mantras. And then a very desperate gentleman came rushing up. There was a roadside nearby, so he came running off the road through the bushes and came to his hut and begged the sage, please sir, please sir. And the sage said, what is wrong? I'm being pursued by dacoits. Dacoits means armed robbers. They're after me. They want my money. They will kill me if they find me. Please give me a place to hide. As you go back behind my kutir, you see there's some thick bushes. You can hide in there. They won't see you. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. So the sage went on, chanting his mantras, doing his mudras and everything. And then coming off the roadside was 5 bandits with their knives and swords. And they burst in on the sage. So, holy man, where is this person we're seeking? Do you know where he is? We're pursuing one man to rob him. Do you know where he is? Well, the principle was to tell the truth. Yes, I know where he is. Oh, where is he? He's in the bushes in the back. So they went around back, they found him, and they killed him, and they robbed him. So this sage, he was so dedicated to the truth, but actually he did not know why. Why one should be truthful. And because of not knowing why, then the truth, the vow of truth he was following, was like, a computer's truth. A computer also always tells the truth. Whatever you put in there to be computated, it computes and spits out the right answer. But this is all mechanistic truth. Actually, it is just superficial. It again is what. It answers the questions of what and how many. But a computer can never answer the question of why. Huh? Why? Why should we tell the truth? What is the truth? Huh? Why is there this principle? What is behind this rule and regulation? So in material consciousness, most people, they follow a type of truth which is called correspondence in philosophy. Also there's a Sanskrit term, artavishesha. It means you just say what corresponds to what your senses perceive, and that's the truth. So, your senses have told you one man is in the bushes. Someone asks you, is he there? You tell, that's the truth. That's what they think. So, but this is very misleading, because our senses do not inform us properly of what is actually going on in this world. There's humorous stories from India of one Guru Paramartika, Guru Paramarta, and his 5 idiot disciples. So Guru Paramarta, he was also teaching a truth which was based on sense perception, what you see. So he was walking with his disciples in the forest, and he was teaching them about life. What is life? And like I said in the beginning of the lecture, this idea that matter moves. When matter moves, that's life. So he was adhering to it, because that's what the senses tell us. So he was saying, can you see, my dear students, the trees are alive? They were looking, oh, Guruji, how can you tell the trees are alive? Very simple. You must learn this lesson. You see, the trees are moving, the branches are moving like this, the leaves are moving. See? Yes, Guruji, they're moving. That's how you know something is alive, when it moves. Oh, very good. So now we know that trees are alive because they move. Yes. So they were very happy. And they walked along a little farther, and then they came to a river. The river also moves. So they were very afraid. Guruji, you want us to cross this river? But it's moving, it's alive. Yes, you're right. It is moving, it is alive. But, living entities, well, although they move, they also sleep. So it is safe to cross the river when the river is sleeping. Oh, so how can we test the river is sleeping? One disciple, he had a great idea. I think I know. So he got a piece of wood and he lit the end of it on fire. And then he crept up to the river with his burning stick of wood. And then he put it in the water. And of course, because it was burning, then they made a big hissing sound, and steam came up, and they all, the river is awake. It's very angry. You saw it hissed at us, like that. So you dare not cross now. So then later on, they were waiting, and then they saw a man on horse come from the other side, and he just came across on the horse, so there was no problem. So then Guruji said, now the river must be asleep. So let us cross. So they very carefully crossed, and they got to the other side. And Guruji was worried. Big living entities like river, they're very tricky. They're very voracious. You can never trust them. So we must know if we're all here. And one disciple said, yes, I know this river is very tricky, because when I was a little boy, my grandfather, he crossed this river also with his donkey. And on the donkey there was loaded 4 bags of salt in cloth bags, And when he crossed that river, then when he came out the other side, the bags of salt were empty. The river stole the salt. So he might have stolen one of us too. Yes, so we must verify. So how many were there in our party? There were 6, I think. 5 disciples and 1 guru. That makes 6. So then Guru Paramati said, all right, then I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone's missing. And one disciple said, I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. They were all counting. Someone in the river took one of us, and then began to cry. One of my party is gone. Who was it? I don't know, but one of them is gone. There's only 5. We counted. So there was one pilgrim who was coming by. He was intelligent. And he observed all this. And he was a little low on money, so he thought, now I'll make some money today. So he said, now wait a minute, Guruji, disciples, just a moment. I am an exorcist. I know how to force this river to return the one who's lost. But for this I want 45 gold coins. Oh, all right, and they counted up. So we'll give you 45 gold coins if you can bring back our number 6 man. Yes. So he had them all. He said, now you must meditate. You must meditate. And there's a special asana I want to teach you. You have to bend over and hold your knees like that. Close your eyes. Stand with your hands on your knees, close your eyes, bend over. Alright, and all stand in the line. So he did that. Then he went behind them. And each one, then he said, so when you feel something, I'm going to do my mystic power. When you feel something, you shout the number. Beginning with 1, then 2, 3. Alright? Yes. So he gave each one a big kick in the backside. Boom! The first one, 1, 2, 3, up to 6. Oh, give him the money. You're wonderful. Now there's 6 of us again. How nice. So what was the problem? The problem was that they were only counting what they could see. They could not see themselves when they were counting. Everyone was counting, but only the 5 that he could see, not considering himself. So this, of course, these stories are simple stories which are taught children in Gurukul, just to teach them the rudiments of philosophy. You know, there's 6 systems of philosophy. So these stories point out the faults. So this is the fault of Sankhya philosophy. Everything, because Sankhya needs to count. So they think that they can count up everything in creation. But they miss something, and that is the self, the soul. You cannot see the soul. So this is a simple lesson. They were counting, but they were always missing 1. So similarly, the scientists, this modern day Sankhya philosophers, they always miss the soul. So that's the correspondence idea, correspondence theory of truth. And then there's another theory, for those who are more speculative, called the coherence theory, where they try to bring the whole world under their logic, you see, their logical speculation. Everything they see, rather than accept it as it is, they try to bring it under some theory that they concocted in their own mind. So there was one logician who was going to visit a miller who was grinding wheat to make flour. And so he went to this miller, and he saw the miller's arrangement. They had the millstone, big millstone, and there was a bull that was walking in a circle. And so when he came and ordered a bag of flour, so the miller said, all right, just a moment. And he went and he got some grains. And then he went to the millstone and placed them between the stones. And then he gave the bull a whack on the backside with a bamboo stick. And the bull began to walk along. And as the bull was walking, he had a very big bell on his neck. So he was walking, dong, 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 the bell was ringing. Meanwhile, the miller went off. He was doing some other business elsewhere. And so the logician was watching all this, very interesting. And the bull was walking, boom, 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 boom. And after a few minutes, the miller came back and he stopped the bull and scraped the flour off the stone, placed it in a bag. Here's your bag, sir. And the logician, he said, I have a question for you. And the miller said, oh, you have a question for me? I'm just a very simple man. You're a big logician. What could I answer? You're so intelligent. No, this is a question about your own business. Oh, all right. So I just want to know why you keep this bell on this bull's neck. And the man answered, oh, very simple, yes, because I have the bull grind the flour. I give him a knock on the backside, and I can go elsewhere. And as long as I hear the bell going dong, 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 I know he's walking in a circle. So then I can work. If I ever hear it stop, then I will come and give him another tap on the backside, get him going again. So that's why I have the bell, so that I can do other things. I know he's working. And the logician said, But what if this bull, when he went away, what if he were to stop and just shake his neck like this? Boom, boom. And the farmer smiled and said, he would never do that because he's not a logician like you. He's just a bull. So, the theoreticians, the logicians, they look at everything in the world and they try to fit them in some kind of theory about, things exist in their own right, not according to our idea. So he was considering, because he is a logician, that the bull will think also like a logician, but the bull is just a bull. So this is Atmavan Manyate Jagat, the principle Prabhupada said, that the speculators' tendency is to see the whole universe, the Jagat, Atmavan, in the way that they, Atmavan means their own, according to their own idea, own value, Manyate, their own conception. So both of these conceptions of truth are not true. Because the truth is transcendental. The truth is absolute. If something is true, then it must be absolutely true. Absolute means at all times, all places, all circumstances. Absolute means in every case. It's like he's mentioned, the modes of material nature. So, what is the truth in the mode of goodness is not the same as the truth, so-called, in the mode of passion or the mode of ignorance. A person in the mode of ignorance, you ask him, what is the right way of life? What is the right thing for the human being to do? And he'll give a very different answer than a person in the mode of goodness. First, you can go down to the train station here in Antwerp and find one of these characters. Scruffy looking characters. And you ask him, dear sir, what is the right thing for a person to do? And he will say, well, the right thing is to wait here at the train station. The travelers coming by who are not very attentive, and then you steal their luggage as quickly as you can and run off. Or another one might say, you wait for people who look like they have money, and then you offer them these drugs I have in my pocket. And someone else will say, the right thing to do is to look for a drug dealer and buy drugs for him. This is the best thing in life. So they'll give answers like that, which are radically different than the answers someone in the mode of goodness would give. So these are relativities. But what is the absolute truth? What is the truth which is always true? In all times, places, and circumstances. And that truth is Krishna. That is the why behind everything. Gyatva Shastra Vidhanam Karma Kartuni Harasi. So Gyatva, truth. This knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Yes. Why follow the rules and regulations? You'll be elevated. But elevated to what? That you must know. You must know Krishna. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vismartana Jatta Chit Sarva Vidhi Nisheshwara Ityureva Kinkara. All the rules and regulations in the Shastras, when they are gathered together authoritatively by those who actually know the real purpose of the Shastras, like the sixth Srila Rupa Goswami, for instance, and he has said, what is all these rules and regulations? They come together to form just truth. They're just truth. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. That's all. And if one does this, if one always remembers Krishna, then one fulfills all rules and regulations, even if one is very sinful and fallen. By always remembering Krishna, by following that rule and regulation, then one will actually become perfect in all the rules and regulations. And for that, to illustrate this, Srila Prabhupada told about one thief, a professional thief, who happened to hear a person reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam reciter was speaking about a small blue boy who lives in a place called Vrindavan. And he was describing from the Bhagavatam the glories of this blue boy, how beautiful he is, and also that he's decorated with jeweled and golden ornaments all over. His mother, Yashoda Devi, she's every day decorating him. with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of jewels and gold. So the thief, he was just kind of, had nothing else to do, so he's listening. Oh, Krishna, what is that? I don't know. But then when he heard jewels, gold, oh, and he began to ask questions. Well, you said this little boy lives in Vrindavan. Yeah, yes. I can see you're a great soul, you're interested in Krishna. Yes, I'm very interested in Krishna. Where is this Vrindavan? So then he described, yes, Vrindavan is a place here in India, you can find it, he gave directions. But to actually enter the real Vrindavan, one must always be thinking of Krishna, constantly. Yes, I'm always thinking of Krishna. After hearing about what you said, he's God on his body. He didn't say that so loudly, under his breath. I'm